What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? It's your boy Goblin, and today we're coming in with yet another hoot and a holler. I can't stop dropping bangers, no matter what. They're always saying, Goblin, when are you going to stop dropping bangers? I don't know, dude. I have no idea. It's definitely not anytime soon, for sure. Hey, drop a like if you guys do enjoy this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And also, it's December 1st, baby. Merch drop is now live. I'm not going to show you all the designs. Go look on the website and find out, baby. Links in the description. I saved the best ones for last. Hey, you're going to want to go check out these designs. Listen, everything's affordable. Everything's quality. Get your holiday merch. Wear your Goblin merch to the family gathering. Post pictures of you wearing it. Tag me in them. I'll repost them. Show some love. I'll give it back. Hey, baby, listen, man. DM me proof of purchase. Also, listen, I'm locked out of my Instagram, so give me like 5 days to get back into it because Instagram support takes forever, and I'm following everyone back. In the meantime, DM me on Twitter because that gets unlocked tomorrow. They silenced me on everything, bro. They locked me on Instagram. They banned me from tweeting for 7 days. I've had enough. But either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you do. Let's dive right into it. So, this is a kind of old, a pretty OG story, actually. This is so old that it even came before my Xanax phase, believe it or not. This took place all the way back in 2015. Basically, it happened during World War II, pretty much. A very long time ago, okay? So on this particular day, I had summer school classes, right? It was the summer after my sophomore year of high school. And I've touched on this in the past. Some of you OGs might recall, but for those of you guys who need to brush up, here you go. This is for you. I was at the time taking summer school classes for geometry. The reason I was taking summer school for it is because for some reason, I just couldn't pass the class for shit. I don't know what it was, but I literally failed geometry like 3 times in a row in high school and just never made it past that point. I just dropped out after that, right? But I couldn't fathom those goddamn shapes, bro. I couldn't do it. So I'm sitting there in the summer school class, and it's another standard day, right? I had a buddy in the class who we're going to call Sam. Very common character in my stories. This was kind of how him and I became friends, actually. Prior to this class, I didn't really know the guy very well. But he sat at the same table as me, so we're chilling, we're talking together, and this guy's barred out of his mind, which was a pretty standard occurrence for class, but, at the same time, he also rode his skateboard to school, and he lived far as fuck. I knew where he lived. It was not close at all. Like, skateboard-wise, even sober him, I don't know how the kid did it. So on bars, I was like, dude, this guy's gonna get hit by a car or some shit, right? So obviously we're going through the class, and I noticed that he's just getting more and more barred out. And about halfway through the class, it was about a 5-hour-long summer school class. About halfway through during our break, he seemed to go, I'm pretty sure he went and popped some more bars. I wasn't with him. But he came back more fucked up than he was before. So that's how I drew that conclusion. But either way, obviously, I see him in this state, and I'm like, yo, dude, let's kick it after class, right? Like, I'll give you a ride home. And he's like, bet, sounds good, right? My dude's barred out. He's always down to chill. He's got nothing better to do. He's just on the Xans, loving life. So I'm like, bet, dude, say less. Tony overhears, a buddy of mine named Tony in the class, he overhears us talking. He's like, yo, what are you guys doing? Let's smoke up after class. Like, let's link. I'm like, yo, Tony, bet, that sounds awesome, dude. Say less. Now I got a third wheel here in case this guy goes like face down, passed out off the bars or something, I got someone else to keep me company. So now we've got our little ensemble put together, right? Class ends, we all go out to my car because, I was the one who drove to school. I usually, I'd drive the homies home, or sometimes I'd pick them up on the way there. So we go out to my car and we're trying to figure out what to do. And Sam is just barred out of his mind. This guy's talking in slow-mo. I remember we're sitting in my car and we're all trying to figure out what to do, and we're smoking this little thin-ass blunt, bro. We're smoking like a half-gram blunt on 3 heads, trying to figure out where to go, what to do, right? And we're like, boys, let's go get some lunch, right? Obviously, we're all poor. We're all high schoolers. At this point, I'm pretty sure the most any of us had to our name was maybe $30. Maybe. Potentially. That on a good day, okay? But there was this one Chinese spot that we knew. I think it was called like China King or some shit. I don't know. Some really generic name. But it was like, it served all your normal takeout Chinese food, but it was sit down only. Like, I don't even think this place offered takeout, right? And the best part of this place was I used to take my friends here whenever we were fucked up all the time, because you sit down and it's dirt cheap, bro. You pay $6. I remember it was $6.50, and you get like this like 3-course meal. You start off with like a tea, bro, right? And then they bring out like a soup, and then you get this plate, and it's like rice and chicken and like others. Like you pick like 3 components of the plate. That whole motherfucking thing is $6.50, bro. Like, not including tip, of course, but $6.50 fucking cents. It was a steal. So I used to take all my friends to this place, bro. It was amazing, dude. It was so affordable. So we pull up on China King, we're gonna call it for now, right? And we pull up and we go get seated. And these listen, picture like the best way to describe the interior of this place is like, I don't know if you've ever seen like picture like where you'd find like a Yakuza boss, you know, like let's say like, I don't know, you go to Japan on like some sketchy business and shit, and like the Yakuza boss calls you into like his like restaurant headquarters, you know, and everything's all red leather with all the dragons on the wall and shit. That's this place, but like everything's fake leather and fake everything, right? It looks really cheap, but like also like really over the top. So we're chilling. Sam's barred the fuck out. Tony and I are high as shit. Absolutely sent. We're essentially babysitting this guy at this point. Because by the time we're sitting at this table, this dude's borderline asleep. We're sitting at the table, and I remember asking him, I'm like, Sam, bro, like, what are you trying to get? And he's just like, oh, yeah, yeah, man, I'm hungry. Like, listen, Sam, he's an interesting guy, because even when he's not on drugs, he's just one of the most cuckoo guys I've ever met. But when he's drugged up on virtually anything, I don't know what it is. He's talked to me about it before. There's some medication he takes. It's like something going on. But either way, basically, like when he gets really fucked up out of his mind, he'll just start rambling on and saying random ass words, bro. Like he'll start talking under his breath to himself and like not stop. So like we're sitting at the table and Tony and I are chatting, and he's all, you know, he's off in the corner of the table with his head kind of down, and he's just talking to himself. He's like, oh yeah, I gotta bring the groceries in. Oh, my grandmother's got a fucking huge piece of meat, you know, like, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking over and I'm like, yo, Sam, dude, are you good, my man? Like, what's going on? He's like, yeah, I'm all good. He's throwing me the thumbs up. So I'm like, bet. So we clear our plates, we finish that up, and I still got barred out Sam back with me, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. And Tony's starting to get antsy. Tony's like, man, I think I got to probably hit the crib after this food and shit. And I'm like, bet, dude, for sure. You know, we could drop you back off at your house, no problem. So after we eat our food, we pay for our meals, and we skedaddle, right? I'm pretty sure I bought Sam his food because that guy was too barred out. Listen, he got me back later, right? But either way, we go back out to my car, and we're chilling, and I go and drop Tony off. Coincidentally, while I'm dropping Tony off, another buddy of mine who we're going to call Johnny hits me up. Now, Johnny's an interesting guy. Johnny is someone I think I've talked about a few times in my past stories. We would go over to his house sometimes back in high school because it was one of the few houses that we could go and smoke at 24/7. Reason being, Johnny's mom was very with the shits. In fact, Johnny's mom was actually kind of a scumbag. She scammed some of my friends, actually. But, she owes everyone money. Whenever you go to her house, we learned to stop going to Johnny's house. At first, we thought it was cool that his mom would ask us for weed. But after a while, it got ugly, right? Because every time you go to Johnny's house, if you had any weed, she'd ask you to front her. And you'd trust her because it's your homie's mom. And then you realize she's up to no good, and she's a thief. And she owes all the homies money. And every time you go over to Johnny's house, Johnny has to warn you not to front his mother. It's really fucked up. It's a pickle of a scenario, right? So either way, we go over to Johnny's house because he hits me up. And I'm like, bet, dude, there's a place where we can get out of the car. We're not in public. Maybe Sam could sober up or something. Bet. So I reply to Johnny and I'm like, say less. We'll be there in literally like 10 minutes. I whip my ass over to Johnny's house, right? And Sam's still chilling in the passenger seat, and he's kind of coming to, you know, now that we got some food in him, he was making a little more sense. Like, I could actually chat with the dude, you know? I had no idea how many bars he took. In fact, I remember he told me he didn't actually take bars. He took, like gummy bears, you know? So God only knows what fucking chemical this guy actually put in his body, right? But either way, he was starting to come to a little bit after we got some China King in him, which that always does the trick. I'm telling you, you're on Eddie substance, bro, that $6.50 platter gets you crazy right. Ooh, man, I've been to this place so many times. Either way, so back on topic here. So we get to Johnny's house eventually, and we get inside. And of course, you know, we walk in, and Johnny's mom is standing there in the kitchen, right? Johnny's classic mother. Listen, She's a cool lady, and I never fronted her anything because I knew from the get-go, right? I don't front anyone anything. I was never that kind of guy, right? So I knew from the get-go, like, okay, I'm not going to front her some shit. And I learned after watching other people do it that it was very wise of me not to front her anything because she owes everyone money. I had a buddy who fronted her a gram, like a 20 bag, right? It was like a 1.5, right? But it was a front, so he taxed on it, right? Fronted like a 20 bag, dude. Over $20. This woman, grown woman, owns a house. Finessing these high schoolers, bro. Unbelievable, right? Johnny's mother's conduct was unacceptable, but her house was very acceptable. So we get there and we go straight to Johnny's room, and we're chilling in his room smoking up, right? We're smoking up, having a good time. We're rolling up, right? I had a little bit of bud. Johnny had a little bit of bud. We matched up, and obviously Sam's just sitting there dying to hit the blunt, right? He's practically begging for the fucking shit. So obviously we spark up, we got this blunt going, and we pass it around. And I don't know, listen, I don't know what happened out there. I don't know what set Johnny's mom off, but Johnny gets up and he leaves the room. He's like, 1 second, I'll be right back. He leaves the room. We hear him and his mom arguing about something. And he comes back and we sit down and smoke the blunt. We're chilling out, and I figure like, oh, okay, you know, he settled whatever it is with his mom. Maybe we'll have some more homie slide through later if he wants to. You know, it can get lit. You know, typically at Johnny's house, we'd have a group of people over. We'd play some cards. We'd get stoned and drunk. It'd be a fun time. So I was planning on kicking it there for a little while. That's not what happened at all. Johnny gets back in the room, sits down, hits the blunt. Maybe 3 or 4 minutes go by. Like, it's almost like you could feel his mom scheming outside of the room, right? Maybe 3 or more minutes go by, and in comes his mother. That door flies open, and she walks in, and she looks at me and Sam, and she says, I need both of y'all the hell out of here. I don't know who the hell Johnny thinks he is, bringing people into my fucking house. And of course, it just erupts right in front of us. I'm sitting here, I've got a blunt in my hand, and Johnny's like, Mom, I live here too. He's doing all this shit. They're beefing with each other, and I'm just sitting there like, dude, like, this kid's, like, fucked up, bro. Like, he's coming to a little more now. Now he's just stoned. And I remember he's actually sitting there just laughing at this entire situation, right? And I was kind of laughing, too. It was pretty funny. But either way, we quickly realized, like, all right, it's time to go. They're still fighting. So we get our shit together, and, you know, they're literally still fighting with each other. And I'm just like, all right, you know, hey, good seeing you, Johnny. You know, I just kind of wave, you know, by the front door. You know, I went to the door to get my shoes. I just kind of waved. I was like, all right, well, hey, Johnny, you know, it was cool seeing you, dude. Hey, I'll see you around town, my man. And, of course, he's like, oh, yeah, for sure. Peace out. So we dip out and go back out to my car, and now we're chilling, right? Now we don't really have shit to do, so I figure, all right, I got some food in the homie. I got him stoned. Let's take him back to the crib, right? Now he doesn't have to skateboard through the street and probably get mowed down, right? So we throw his board, you know, in my trunk. No, it was already in the trunk. But either way, we got his board loaded up in the trunk. You know, we got all the shit we need, and we skedaddle. And like I mentioned earlier, you know, Sam's house was not very close to the school, and it was even further from Johnny's house, right? It was a pretty big hike in the opposite direction of Tony and Johnny, right? So we whip, you know, we have maybe like a 20, 25-minute car ride, and we're just cruising, having a hoot. You know, I ended up becoming pretty good friends with Sam. I actually smoked with this guy a couple months ago when I was last up north for court. But either way, you know, we cruise back, you know, and I drop him back off at his place, you know, at his apartment. He daps me up. He's like, yo, let's link later. I'm like, my man, absolutely. And let me tell you, many more stories came along with this guy. But hey, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you did. Don't forget to cop some merch, baby. Hey! Live now, links at the top of the description. Go get some Goblin merch. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, gamers.